Hello there, everyone. This is Mr. Fleming. Hopefully you recognize me. I've seen me in the hallway if I haven't taught you specifically, but that will change very shortly because we are embarking on Computer Science 1, where we don't need to know anything about writing computer programs, but we will do that very, very shortly. I just wanted to give you guys this quick little intro video about some of the things that we'll do and some of the things that we'll see very, very shortly. Now the first thing that you might be asking yourself is, well, how do I get a computer program to even run? Now the interesting thing about computer programs is there's not a whole lot that separates them from something like typing on Microsoft Word. Essentially, we just need to know the words and correct sentence structure in a programming language so that when we hand off that Word document, if you will, to Mr. CPU, that the processor will be able to run our command and actually display something on the screen for us. So let's just go ahead and create one of those simple little files. Now we're not going to use Microsoft Word. I'll explain why, much later, but we're going to use another program called Atom. And so Atom looks like this down here. You guys will have it on your desktop at home. And as I said, we can just kind of type on it, but that was garbage. We are going to be talking about the language of JavaScript. So before I type some JavaScript for you guys right here, I'm going to switch panels just so that you can get a better view. Alright, so after that transitions, here we go. So in Atom and in most other programs, the computer needs to know what language you're typing it in, and you'll see the advantage of this in just a second. So instead of just saying untitled, I'm going to save it as a new file. Where is that option? Save as. And I will call this my first file, .js. Now, the .js is what's important. That's what's going to signal to the computer that we actually have a JavaScript program. Also, if I wanted to do another language like Java or C, you could do the following. You could say, hey, I want a new file, and I want to save this new file as, myfile.java or .c or .html or .ruby. Really, there's lots of languages you can choose, but it's as simple as just telling the computer what language it is by putting a dot at the end of it. So here we go. We're ready to make some JavaScript. Well, there are things called variables in programming, and we can teach a computer how to store a variable with the keyword var. Notice it's purple, and notice that there's a red dot next to it. Right now, this means I have an incomplete sentence. I've signaled to the computer, hey, I want a variable, but I haven't really told it anything. So let's just say I called this variable Mr. F. Alright, so cool. I've now made a variable called Mr. F, but I haven't put anything in this variable. Just like in math, sure, x can be a lot of things, but is x equal to 2, 3, 4, 5? Let's just say it's equal to 27. And you might be clever enough to figure out why I'm choosing the number 27, but if you're not, that will be the first answer on a quiz. So why did I choose 27? Not really, I'm just being facetious here. Okay. Now, unfortunately, in English, we end our sentences with periods, but in programming, we use the period for something much more important. So in a program, once you've finished a complete thought, we use a semicolon. So for instance, I could also say var student equals 17 and then end my thought. And just because this is a very, very simple program, I can do math with this. So I could say var result equals Mr. F plus student, And you should realize what that means. We also can include comments in our code. That means // so the computer is not actually going to do anything here. This will add the values inside of our variables. And not only will it add them, but it will store it inside of Mr. Result. If I want to run this program, technically nothing will happen, and this will be frustrating for you for a small window of time, because in programming there's a difference between teaching a computer how to do something and actually asking the computer to go ahead and show you the results. So right now we've merely taught the computer how to do these things, but we haven't actually asked us to show anything to us. If you want to show something, we have two options. You could say return, I should spell that correctly, return the result. So whatever number happens to be in result, could you give it back to us, return? Or if you just want to see it, there's something called Mr. Console Log, and I could say result here. So just so that you can see the before and after, right now I will make this a comments. Notice it turned gray. This means that the program isn't going to run this. And if I go to here and I say script, let's run this JavaScript. Down here I see a check mark. It finished. But look, nothing happened. Maybe it's because we didn't ask the computer to do anything with our result. In fact, we told it how to find the result, but we didn't actually want it to do anything with it. So now, if I run the script again, and we'll go over how I'm able to make this pop up later. Oh, it says 44, and if we check our math, is it true that 27 plus 17 is 44? I do in fact believe that that is true. Let's see. Okay, so there you go. We've learned a little bit about JavaScript. We've learned where we type it. We can see that our results get printed out to the page. But we're going to be working on some pretty big projects, projects that involve more than just, say, adding. And so we need a place to store these, and that place is called GitHub. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my GitHub, and I'm going to show you how I would upload a file to GitHub. So let's make this happen. So go down here, open up Mr. Chrome. Let's full screen that. GitHub.com. Now this is I'm already logged in so that you can see. This is actually a professional website. So as you can see, built for developers. Real companies use this. People like Microsoft and Google and like literally everyone. We can use it for free, and that's great. Let's see. There's happy people. Yeah, Airbnb, Spotify, Facebook. We will get to know these people called Node, Walmart, PayPal. I mean, it's a real thing. We're taking the kitty gloves off here. Okay. So sign in. I want to use my St. Pat's email. Boom. And now my St. Pat's login password. Please work. Hey, all right, I logged in. Now, if you want to store some code and then upload it, that's called a repository. Now listen very carefully. I will repeat this like 10 more times because it's so important. When you create a new repository, remember, this website is made for professionals. A repository is basically just a folder where you store things. So you give it a name. I will say my first repo, short for repository. You can give it a description if you want. Please keep it on public, meaning anyone can see your code. If you try to choose private, it'll ask you to pay them, so you won't do that anyways. Otherwise, you're forking over some money. But here is the most important thing. This is going to prevent so many future headaches. We named it. We gave it a description. Please check this box that says initialize me. I'm going to wait. You have to check the box that says initialize me. Here's why. If you don't initialize it, they assume you're a professional. They're assuming you want to trick out your folder with all these fancy custom options, 22-inch rims, you know, like a moon roof, and so it's going to throw all this computer mumbo jumbo at you that isn't going to make any sense because they assume that you're a West Coast Customs type of programmer, if you know what I'm saying. So please check initialize me. And there you go, it made it. I didn't no weird screen popped up asking me for all this stuff that makes no sense. Okay, so great. I've made a folder. Ooh, there's a button here that says upload files. Ooh, there's a button here that says download files. So if I upload my files at the end of class and then tomorrow I log back in and I download my work, that's how we're going to be able to work in the computer lab for multiple days. So let's do that. All right, upload files. Oh, choose a file to upload. Okay, well, I could click on this, and then I could surf my computer, and I could go find the file, and I could click it there. Or I could, you know, move this to the side, and if I found the file I wanted, which this is not the file, I could drag it and drop it in there. So that's one of my recommendations to you, is that when you make a new file, I would recommend that you put it on the desktop. So that way you can do a quick drag and a quick drop over there, and it will be really, really, really simple. Okay. Now, because I opened up this program rather quickly, this file is not where I want it to be. So one thing I'm going to do is, where is this folder? I have no idea where this folder is. I'm going to, well, let's copy paste this. Copy. I'm going to get rid of this guy and that guy. And I'm going to open the folder of a Mr. Desktop. And on Mr. Desktop, I'm going to make a new file. Notice I'm right-clicking. And again, myfile.js. Hey, there it is. Alright, so do I actually see it on the desktop? Oh my god, there's my file! I made it on the desktop! Oh my god! So, now, I can take Mr. File. I can drag and I can drop it. And it uploaded. This is my little avatar guy. It's Mega Man if you didn't know. Alright, my file. What did I do? I made a simple demo. Made a simple, awesome demo. Please commit the changes. Boom. And there you go. Here's my file. There's my code. Let's go back. Oh, well, let's pretend it's a new day. Alright? Let's delete this guy. He doesn't exist anymore. I just woke up, it's B period, and I logged into my computer. Well, I don't have a program, so I guess what I should do is I should log into my profile, I should go to my repositories, I should look for the name of my repository, oh, my first repo, and I should download it. Boom, it downloaded. Where did it download? On Windows, there's something called a downloads folder. So, click the little folder, go to downloads of my first repo. I take it out over there. Now, this is a zip file. You cannot edit through a zip file. So, what you will have to do is you will have to unzip this. It's not hard. I have another thing that will unzip it, but let's see. I could say open with this. Will it do it? And then just drag it out. There it is. It's unzipped. So if you take the zip folder and drag out the inside folder, you have essentially exported it. So now I don't need this anymore. I can delete it. And if I go back to Mr. Adam, again, imagine Adam's, you know, doing his thing. Alright? I opened up Atom. Hey, file, open folder. Let's open up the desktop because that makes my life easy. Oh, here is, where did it go? Not assignment 1. My first repo. There's my file. Of course, I have a lot more crap on my desktop, and you won't. So there'll only be like 2 or 3 options here for you to select. But there is my code, and this is my demonstration. So I hope you guys are excited about the class. We're going to be writing some computer code. We're going to be executing some computer code. We're going to be saving and uploading some computer code. I hope this is informative, and don't worry, I will go over this again in person. I just wanted to upload you this video just so that you can get a taste for what we're going to be doing. Take care and see you soon.